And good morning and welcome. Wow, we woke up and I didn't find out anything about the election. We still don't know what's happening. I guess that's not super shocking as we've kind of been prepared for this over the last months and weeks. Vol now in big time. The VIX down 5. It just upticked to be down 479, but was down 5. Quite the down move for the VIX. Once again, not that shocking, really. And I don't know if you were able to catch me on the show last night, Option Insider, but that was a lot of fun. Interestingly, my old boss, Andrew, was talking about, thinking that vol is going to come in a lot soon. Right now, even with the VIX down 5 points, this is kind of like a scenario we talked about a couple days ago where I was saying to get the term structure back to where to like a normal state, we would need the VIX to go down a lot more than the futures. And right now we have the VIX down 464 and the front month future down 140. So the VIX down over 3 points more than the futures. And what that serves to do is to slowly bring the VIX term structure back in line. So if we take a look at the VIX term structure here, right on the close yesterday, we went back into contango between the front and the second month. However, we are still inverted with the VIX higher than the futures, but we're looking a lot more normal than we were yesterday the chart doesn't look that much different, but if you look at the actual numbers, we're just over a point away from not being inverted anymore, and that's a big difference from 4 points. So everything has just shifted down with the VIX cash moving down more than the futures, but the whole term structure has just moved down. And this isn't too surprising, seeing as the VIX is a mean reverting type product, and the mean is lower than where we are now. We've also seen the back month. Usually the back months indicate some sort of average, and the back months have been lower than the front months for quite some time now with this downward shaping curve. Once we are actually through the mean, which I think the mean is somewhere around 20 maybe. I don't know if we'll get there soon, but if we do when we go below the mean, you'll see the back months will be higher than the front months. But right now, kind of just the curve unwinding. If we look at our major volatility products, UVXY went out 1918 yesterday. Now it's 1779. That's weird. Oh, my bid and ask are backwards on here for some reason. There we go. VXX went out 2450, now 2331, so down a little over a point. And as you look at the chart, you can see a continuation of the down move here. Let's take a look at like a 5-day, and we see continuation of the down move. Now, if we just review quickly what happened last night, around 8 or 9, we just had the market was just kind of sideways, and then it kind of became clear that the polls were once again going to be not accurate, and that this was a much tighter election than had been predicted. And kind of as soon as that news started to come out, the market seemed to just rip upwards. And that would be around this 9 o'clock area here. We saw this big rip upward where there was all of a sudden, it seemed to be that the president was going to be reelected, and it was all coming, everything was working for him. But then as time went by, this is when I was asleep, the market sold off again as it became less clear what was going to happen. But from about 2 o'clock on, we've just had this rally. Now, it seemed like last night that when Trump looked better, the market went up, and when Biden looked better, the market went down. We don't know if that correlation will continue or not, but we are still deadlocked, obviously. So where do we go from here, and what else is going on? This market has been rallying, but it has also, you could also see it as being range bound. So it might be an idea to, when we get a big rally, to maybe sell some way out of the money calls. And then when we get a big sell-off, sell some puts, because it seems like when you get an extension one way or the other, either to the upside or the downside, it kind of comes back from there. And specifically, I was looking at our old friend Lululemon, which I'm down some money in this year and would like to get it back. I really like to get a little bit of it back, but I don't know if I'm going to actually depart from VIX products trading, because it's better for me probably just to stick with what works for me. But just as an idea, Lululemon, if we look at the chart over the last year, you can see the rally, the high up here of basically 400, and then it backed back off below 300, now hanging out 327. I was looking at maybe like the 355 or 60 calls out a couple weeks. If we do get a push higher, if the market is just screaming higher, I was thinking about fading that strength. So looking maybe to sell some of like the 60 call, something like that, if we just to kind of fade a big push upward, because regardless of who becomes president here, the economy still has major issues confronting it, and Lululemon has made a huge run up already, and thus it seems like to fade a big rally, and then on the other side, to fade a big sell-off in any of these. You can pick which issue you want to look at. Like if we get a down move start to happen, something like an Apple or a Tesla or something like that, to sell some out of the money puts on a down move might be an idea. As for me, things worked out well yesterday with my position in VXX, so I took my position off. And so I didn't really have anything going into the election. I ended up legging into these put spreads, but it's just basically nothing. Sometime during the day, I bought these 21 puts that expire in 2 days. I paid 12 cents for them, and then I sold the 20 and a half puts against them for 8 cents. The market's kind of funky right now, but basically paying 4 cents for something that could be worth 50 cents on a leg. Besides that, I have nothing on. So I'm looking for any sort of pop in volatility. I'm looking to sort of sell into, maybe reestablish buying some March put spreads or something in VXX. I believe that volatility will continue to come in, regardless of who gets elected here, as the event is sort of over and a lot of bad news is out. It's been a sort of everybody was so nervous about before this election about, well, it's going to be deadlocked and there's going to be all this craziness going on. And it was deadlocked, and there is a little bit of craziness going on, but the fear of what could happen seems to be more than the actual reality of things here. The NASDAQ currently up 400. It was up more than that at one point. Just big rally. But if we look at the charts here, you can see we are a bit off the highs, and it appears that we could just be kind of in range bound at some point here. I don't think that that's so hard to envision. You see this sell-off and then the rally, then the sell-off, then we have this big rally here. But for us to take out the highs, the all-time highs might be a stretch, because there's still problems looming. We haven't gotten a stimulus package, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So we are in a trader's market right now, folks. It's not that weird market where we keep making new highs and it doesn't seem to make sense. it's a trader's market, and so you should be able to get in and out of stuff. You should be able to make money on the upside and on the downside if you kind of time stuff right. It seems that when we get a big push to the upside, it gets faded. When we get a big push to the downside, it sort of gets faded. So if you can get into kind of a rhythm with the market here, there's money to be made. Now, I've stayed small, and I haven't bet the farm on any one trade. I did kind of wimp out on going short volatility coming into yesterday. Stuff has come in. It hasn't come in a ton, though, because we didn't get an answer on the election. Now, who knows what we can talk about, what woulda, coulda, shoulda happened, and that doesn't matter. What we do know now, though, is that the VIX is in a lot before the open today, and these VIX products are in a lot with this big rally. Now, anything could change at any moment. We could give up this whole rally, but I do believe that over the next couple months, volatility will continue to come in. So we'll have to wait and see. The coronavirus continues to be with us, and at one point it seemed like we were over concerned about it, but now once again it seems like a lot of people are in this phase like, oh, it's relatively harmless and not concerned and sort of enough about it possibly. So who knows? But we'll have to see what happens moving forward. On the show yesterday, they were asking, well, do you think the election will be determined, whoever wins will be determined last night? And I was saying no, but by probably noon today. I think this stuff could play out for a while, though, at this point, because it's that scenario where there's not a clear winner. So there's going to be a lot of wrangling back and forth, it seems. And in a sense, the market doesn't completely mind gridlock. The markets are used to there being gridlock in Washington, and in a sense, it's a feeling of business as usual, as opposed to sort of something really extreme happening. We just seem to be everything seems to be getting kicked down the road and rolled out, and so it wouldn't be a surprise to me if vol continues to come in. We are a little bit off the lows on the VIX here. Let's take a quick look at the VIX over the last few hours and see kind of where we are. So we saw a low of like 30 and then it bouncing back. Now 30 still is a pretty high number. It's hard for me to come in today with the VIX down 4 points and just get way short, because I feel like I've missed a big part of the move. I would much rather sell into the VIX kind of popping a little bit, but and obviously this isn't the last moment in the world that the VIX is ever going to go up. It's and I'm experienced enough to know that to put on a short here, I would scale into a position, so maybe put a little bit on and see what happens, as opposed to just coming in, because you don't, psychologically, it doesn't feel good coming in and the VIX has made a huge move down and then you get short. It kind of feels like you're chasing past returns or something like that. When they talk about people looking, you buy Money Magazine, you say, well, what was the best performing mutual fund last year? And you put your money in that one. Well, what already happened doesn't necessarily mean it's going to continue that way. So we'll have to see what happens moving forward. I hope all you guys are doing okay in your own positions as we look ahead here. Let's see if I can pull up let's see if I can pull you guys up here. Do I even have a screen with the stuff? Let me check out here. Anyway, so that's kind of where we stand. I'm kind of happy that I was conservative and didn't give up a bunch of money coming into this morning, and I'm going to continue to stay small because it's been working for me, trading kind of small. If I can make a couple $100 every day, that would be great. And it's been working that way recently for me. I don't know if it will continue, but that's kind of my plan right now. So let's say hi. What's up, Edward? Dazbov. Hey, everybody. Best of luck today. Let's see. So Truth Seeker says, okay, thanks. Should I probably hold VIX and a short SQQ and hang in there until it comes back? I'm not going to make a specific recommendation to you, Truth Seeker. You're going to have to figure that out for yourself, I'm afraid, because I don't know what's going to happen any more than anybody else does right now. So you're going to have to try to figure that out for yourself. I personally am looking to get short volatility if we get some sort of pop in the VIX right here. But that's just me. I wish I could be more helpful to you, but you're going to have to figure it out yourself, I'm afraid. All right, so that's kind of where we stand. I appreciate everybody watching, and I will be back on Friday as we try to establish a normal show with normal show hours. This production is partially brought to you by Alpha Growth Capital and their product Next Alpha, which you'll be hearing more about very shortly. It uses artificial intelligence as a means of determining when to buy and sell products in the stock market, and it kind of takes the we as traders are not great at picking tops and bottoms. Artificial intelligence can do a better job. So Next Alpha product actually takes the power of artificial intelligence, puts it in your hands, and you'll hear more about that soon. Thank you to all the members and subscribers. Look, I know I sound like every other YouTuber, but please press that like button, hit subscribe if you're not subscribed. Even if you're not going to watch a ton of videos, it does help. Everything helps the algorithm and all that great YouTube stuff. I found out that like pretty much the top financial YouTube accounts are basically fake gurus and scammers who are trying to sell you products where like buy my course for $2,000 and learn how to make all this money in the stock market. Don't spend thousands of dollars buying a course. That's not making money. That's losing money. There's so much free information out there. And doing the hard thing is not buying a class from some guru. It's finding the information out there yourself. And 50% of what you're going to learn as a trader is going to be out there actually putting money at risk. And because you can be I saw people as a pit trader. I saw people come out of top universities, go through a training program, and they finally got where they had an account in front of them and were able to do something, and they just froze. This guy, I watched this guy, and he couldn't pull the trigger and just do anything. In the end, if you're to make money, you have to go out there and do something. You have to try something. You have to put a trade on, and it can be better to put a small trade on and get yourself engaged in the market than to just stand there and do nothing. And and I'm not a big fan of paper trading either. Paper trading is just a frustrating, silly thing to me because, of course, if you're paper trading, if you're going to swing it big in paper trading, you're going to make money because it's not real. It's just when it's real, it's a different game out there. And I found that the more I can create a structure for myself and rules for myself as a trader, the less money I lose, and the more stuff starts to make sense to me. If you just have every product in the world available to you and you just start pressing buttons and I'll do this stock and that stock and I'll trade bonds and gold and blah, 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 it just becomes overwhelming and there's no more rhyme or reason. You don't really want to be in a situation where you're just like at a casino and you're just, just pressing a button, I'll buy this thing and see what happens. You want to have sort of more of a plan than that, I think, moving forward. Anyway, so this rally is fading a little bit. We'll see what it comes to here. Currently, the VIX down 4, and the term structure is righting itself as volatility comes in. I wonder if we will. It doesn't seem like this voting stuff is going to be counted anytime soon, so we could be in a holding pattern for a little bit. It starts to seem like this week's expiration cycle is kind of off the table, and it might be a sale But we'll have to wait and see. All right, thanks for watching. Sorry for blabbing so long. We'll see you next time on the Short Vol Show Live. I really appreciate y'all. Hey, what's up, Tom? Nice to see you live. Thanks, folks. Appreciate all your thoughtful comments, Tom. Thank you. And thank you for watching. See you soon.